soul-stealing magi.
Flesh-eating creeps.
Yeah, it's just another day at the office for the madhouse. My werewolf partner and I attempt to keep the peace without being torn to pieces. Weep at the wonder.
Howl at the horror.
And keep the light on. It's gonna get dark. This is the 100-Handed.
Lost souls. Episode 16, 666 Street.
V, be on your guard. We're gonna back out of the alley, slowly. I don't know where Mason went, but we need to reconnect with him. This is unfamiliar territory.
A gun? Those scars. An Imagimancer.
I don't see any tattoos, Speed.
Snake eyes! Wait, I don't see any either.
V, can you transform?
No, the treatment Solomon has me on keeps me locked in this hybrid form. Although, with the dim in the air, I might be able to override it.
Denied. We're far from home and I don't want you to turn Cujo with no means of turning back.
Yeah, no problem. I bet I'm still tougher than these two jackasses, though.
Funny.
Shall we?
I've got this.
As if to directly rebuke V's claim, the two men began changing. V's hands grew claws as thick as kitchen knives, his upper body growing so heavy that he had to slump over on all fours. He let out an ursine roar as his transformation into half-man, half-bear completed.
That's a big bear.
Light and night. We've really stepped in it, V.
It's okay. I can still take him.
V didn't wait for her to finish her sentence. He charged, roaring down the alleyway.
Bring it!
V!
He's got me pinned! I can't reach his face!
Tiny thing. Barely a snack.
You can't eat her, Speed.
Munch on this, then!
That tickles.
The bullets did almost nothing to feed. His thick hide put Kevlar vest to shame. He had V pinned against the alley wall, his arm extended so far that she couldn't get a good slash at his face. I noticed that, with her free hand, she'd started rattling the pipe next to her. Something clicked in my brain. I followed her lead and fired.
Can't see.
Too slow! I can do this all day, dipshit! I'll hold him up. You go chase down Fang!
Her words confused me at first, but then I saw what she meant. Fang had escaped down the other end of the alley. Even though we subdued the big one, the snake-like Fang appeared to be the brains. If we wanted any answers about what they had wanted with V, those answers would most likely come from the bastard trying to slither out of my sight. Get back here! Gotta make sure this thing doesn't pop on toast. You're slowing down. Looks like a dead end to me, Fang. Just answer a few questions, and I'll forget that your crew ever attacked us.
And if I say no,
Then I'm walking out of this alley with a new pair of snakeskin boots.
stupid Magimancer, you think you can take me without any tattoos?
I don't need them. I've got a gun. Had a gun. Fine. We'll do this the old-fashioned way. Marquis of Queensbury rules. Put up your...
Have you heard of the phrase, snake-like reflexes?
Just getting warmed up.
I'm too fast. It will be less painful if you just give up. What's with the inner tube?
Come down to the ground. I'll show you. Fang moved to mount me. I whipped an empty beer bottle across his face. The hit was solid, dazing the creep long enough for me to sweep his legs. By the time Fang hit the floor, I'd already grabbed his suit and we were tussling in the filth. You've got moves, I'll give you that. But that's not gonna help if you're pinned.
Get off!
Eat! Shit! God, fucking snake.
Slowing down.
I didn't notice it at first, but during the fight, the tube that Mason had given me had ruptured. The magic circle broken. The gloom began to creep into my mind. No.
Kill you in Magimans. I swear it until your last moments.
Voices. What's happening? Shadows. What's going on with the shadows? The shadows of the alley began to take wild shapes of men and animals and demons. They danced wildly before my eyes, taunting and teasing, whispering in a language known only to the mad and the malevolent. A noise at the alley stopped Fang in his tracks. A panicked look flickered over his bloody visage, and the were-serpent hustled to a dumpster and hid inside. The shadows dancing on the wall began to close in. They wrapped around my limb, as insubstantial as lace and heavy as lead. I opened my mouth to scream, and the shadows flooded in, the taste of death and disappointment. Then everything went black. Then everything went to a deeper blackness, cold as a corpse's hand running over your skin as you shower. Then everything went...
The 100-Handed is a Madhouse radio production. Directed by Brooke Pillafont. Created and written by Tom Trest. Featuring the voice of Gage Richter as Evan Wexler.
I'm dead. That was the first thought I had. No, the only thought I had. I died in the dim. Some creep I'd wronged in the past was dragging me further into the depths of the gloom. The only thing I had to look forward to was an eternity of an angry imp in a devil costume jamming a pitchfork up my ass. That was my gallows humor at work. The reality was far worse.
You failed, Evan.
Fail who? Michael? Is that you?
Everyone. You let the creep take your sister.
Beth. I didn't mean to.
Do you know what it did to her, Evan? How it made her suffer?
I found it, Michael. We found it. You and I made it pay.
It still has her. You saw it take her. If a thing happens once, it happens always.
Michael. Been looking for you. Where have you been? Everyone thought you were dead.
I was. Or am. Will be.
How can I find you?
You know I can't answer that for you.
Why? Why not?
Because I'm not really here, hotshot. Something else entirely.
This isn't real.
Right about that. It's worse than real. It's all in your head. There's no way out of that. Give up.
Shut up.
Worthless.
Shut up.
Nothing for you here but death.
That isn't true.
Just end it. You can stop the pain anytime you want.
Stop. Please. Just stop.
Kill yourself.
Why suffer needlessly?
I don't want to.
There's only one way out.
Kill yourself.
One way.
Kill yourself. Kill yourself. Get into the gloom. Surrender to the gloom.
Damn it, it's already seeped in pretty deep.
Oh, God, please tell me he's not too far gone.
Shut up.
He is not too far gone. You do not tell Vincula that the person he wants is too far gone.
Run way out.
Damn it, restrain him and get that knife away from him. The gloom's got him in its clutches. He'll kill himself if we don't stop
You
him.
didn't think of that before bringing him into a kitchen full of cutlery?
We didn't have much of a choice.
In it goes.
Sacre bleu, this is why I left Francia. I cannot bear the sight of blood.
Oh, no. You aren't leaving. Get this.
Feel
Whatever
like
it is,
anything.
out of him.
And it goes again.
Evan, stop it. Fix him.
I can't.
Then who can?
I can.
I didn't see him at first, standing in the doorway. A man, similar to Mason. Where Mason was stone, this individual was wooden. Articulated joints, carved, lacquered skin. He looked like a large puppet, with strings that sagged behind him and traced their way out of the room. You mind giving me a hand?
V, don't talk like that to him.
I took quite a beating in the alleyway. You try going toe-to-toe with a fucking werebear and see how well you come out the other end of it. I'm done with politeness. Ouch! Shit! I swear to God, Evan, you better thank your lucky stars that I understand the gloom is brain-fucking you with the mystical equivalent of Ron Jeremy's dong. All right, puppet man, how do you plan on helping?
Without much effort at all.
I watched the stranger reach out a wooden hand. Strings seemed to sprout from the tips of his fingers, twisting down to Wexler's chest. They rested on Wexler's skin, and I watched as the gloom pulsed up the strings, a blackish purple smoke that coalesced in the puppet man's palm.
Wait, and rise and shine, Imagimancer. Where am I? V?
Right here, buddy.
Last thing I remember is the magical circle popped. How did I survive? Well, you owe me that. Welcome back to the world of the waking, Evan. I don't believe we've met. Oh no, but we will have plenty of time to get acquainted. Come, let us go to my office. Mason, you're dismissed.
As you wish.
Veronica, Wexler, follow me if you will. Lead the way. We stepped into a scene straight out of an alien abductee's worst nightmare. The arcade floor superficially resembled a Dave & Buster's. Instead of arcade machines, there were machines constructed out of a liquid silver that flowed, yet retained their form. Many of the machines bore the familiar shapes of a medieval torture instrument, but in certain places, the devices were far more abstract. Dangerous geometry and sharp, unwelcoming points. What kind of place is this?
The hottest nightmare bar in the lower 48. Owned by yours truly, Vincula, at your service. Come on, this way.
We passed through all manner of patrons. Most of the clientele was the more human of the creeps. A few bloodsuckers, one or two unseelie, a few scale sapes, lizard folk for the uninitiated, and even what looked like a few regular humans.
Are those members of the flock?
If they've the means to pay, we don't turn away.
Who would pay for this? They're connected to these constructions.
Vincula, those machines.
Sculptures. I just call it a sculpt, though. No need to be so formal about it.
Sculpts?
A sculpt is kind of like a prop. While a prop is an enchanted object that facilitates magic, a sculpt is usually larger and fixed in place.
So, what do these sculpts do?
Nightmares. Each of these sculpts represents the kind of nightmare.
And the way they're all just laying there, letting those silver tendrils writhe into their nose, their mouth, that's a part of it.
That's how they go into the nightmare of the person they want to play with.
You might need air quotes around the word play.
This place makes me sick.
Honestly, it reminds me a little bit of Solomon's Parlor. Maybe a little too much.
You may think ill of my business, but I actually modeled much of this on internet cafes. It's not so much different.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. If I could figure out how to get my mother into one of those things...
Oh, I'm sure you'd enjoy that.
Yeah, no shit. If my mother was any bigger of a cunt, she'd double as a giant's coin purse.
Wires. Vincula, I've never met a creep like you.
Fuck yeah.
No, you have. Just not in the way you think.
Fuck this. We're out. I don't give a shit what we have to fight out in this dim.
Yeah, bitch, give me those nightmares!
V, we can't stay here.
I don't think you'll be going anywhere.
After I spoke, my head jerked to the side, as though I were a leashed dog in the hands of an angry owner. All around me, strings began to materialize out of the shadows. Impossibly thin lines that I could only see when a silver shimmer danced their length. The strings pulled taut, yanking me across the arcade's crowded floor in a dead-leg shuffle that had the patrons watching me with unmitigated horror. They parted before me, creatures of nightmare cowering away as if seeing a nightmare of their own.
Here we go. My office. Please, after me.
Winner, 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 winner.
Shadows cast about wildly in the office, limbs twisting and bending, heads drooped with the kind of bent neck slack seen in hanging victims.
Puppets. Jesus Christ, there's tons of them just dangling from the ceiling. Is he some kind of puppetry demon? Wait a second. Wexler, either those are the most exquisitely carved puppets I've ever seen in my life, or there's something else going on here.
She had good eyes, which made me wonder if her mother hadn't put a little something else in her aside from the wolf. Once my vision adjusted to the dark, I could see what she meant. The writhing forms twisting on the strings far above us were a little too lifelike. The puppets' faces were pinched in agony or slack with ecstasy. There were a few puppets that looked particularly unfortunate, their intricately carved faces somehow conveying both emotions at once. Every now and then, a skein of silver liquid would drip from one of the puppets and strike the office floor before worming away into a dark corner of the office. At the far end of the massive room, Vincula took a seat in a leather chair. Then, as if we hadn't just seen him sit down, he slowly swiveled around to face us. The creep was insane. I did not doubt that for a moment.
What are you doing?
I take it you don't like my collection? or my theatricality? And who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
If I had to guess, you already know that.
I like to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Enough of this.
Let go of me.
Stop playing games, Pinocchio. You got your strings in Wexler, but you don't have them in me. You don't get to just get in the way of our investigation. Now, tell us why you brought us here before I turn you into firewood.
I have control here.
Worthless! Fucking doll! Waste of fucking time. This is who everyone's afraid of? Weak sauce.
I watched as the puppet's severed head rolled across the floor, settling at a door behind the desk. The door had been hard to see in the shadows, and when it opened, it seemed as though it had only opened into a greater darkness. V, you see anyone?
No, it's too dark even for me.
I am so dreadfully sorry at how my little creature has treated you. You mischievous little thing. I'm sorry, you know how it is. Minion thinks he's in charge, starts swinging his weight around, starts to forget that he doesn't pull the strings. Vincula, please, I was just testing out the reins. You said I could. You said I could. I said you could, so long as it remained interesting. Interesting. And my little doll, you took that power I gave you and taunted the nice werewolf lady. I'm sorry. You do identify as a werewolf, yes?
Well,
I mean, you've kind of got a patchwork postmodern thing going on, which I love, but you never want to assume.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay, nice. Okay, cool. We're very accepting at this establishment, very open. So, you pissed off the werewolf lady and let her rip you apart. But you said not to do anything to her. Then it wasn't a good idea to piss her off by hurting her Imagimancer friend and getting yourself broken, now was it? Because a broken puppet isn't very interesting at all. Remind me, my creature, what do I do to puppets that break? Break. You take them apart.
Vincula let the remains drop, the veins in his arms rippling. He snapped his fingers, and the threads descended from the ceiling, pulling the puppet apart before ascending into the shadows above, prey in tow. The real Vincula, I take it?
The owner, proprietor, and founder of Low Spirits. The finest nightmare barcade in this stretch of the dim. In the flesh. And at your service.
The 100-Handed is a Madhouse radio production. Created and written by Tom Trest. Directed by Brooke Pillafont. Theme music by Ian Flores. Featuring the voice of Gage Richter as Evan Wexler, Brooke Pillafont as V, Terry Harrison as Fang, Joey Chance as Feed, Mike Blackwell as Mason, Ryan Bradley as Vincula, Stephen Cruiser as Michael Washington. Want to take a spin in a nightmare machine? Find us online at 100handed. That's 100handed.com.